Hi, precious heart. Thank you for joining us for our first weekly vlog. When we see the many challenging things taking place around the world, it is obvious that this is a very confusing and sometimes frightening time. In many instances, it looks like no matter how hard we try, things seem to be getting worse. I know that is very disheartening, and many people feel hopeless and helpless when confronted with all of the adversity occurring on this planet. What we are going to learn, however, from the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth is going to help us understand that we are interpreting what we are witnessing in the outer world is inaccurate. Things are not getting worse. It is just that we have not been able to see the bigger picture of what is happening. We have been judging what is taking place in our lives and the world by outer appearances. But that is only a small fraction of what is actually occurring. If we want to comprehend the bigger picture, which we will see in these weekly vlogs, we must raise the focus of our attention above the chaos in our lives. Once we transcend the discordant frequencies of our human miscreations, we can clearly hear the still small voice pulsating within the divinity of our heart. This is the voice of our God Self, that part of us that is known in the realms of truth as our I Am presence. This is the part of us that is created in God's image. It is the part of us that is one with the all-encompassing presence of our Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I Am, all that is. When we listen to the inner guidance of our I Am presence, we begin to see with new eyes and hear with new ears. During this series of weekly vlogs, the Company of Heaven is going to help all of us learn how to do just that. Even though the information being shared in these vlogs may seem familiar to you, the earth and all life evolving upon her have passed through an unprecedented shift of energy, vibration, and consciousness since the birth of the new earth, which took place on December 21st and 22nd in 2012. That means that every person on this planet is now able to experience these truths from a higher level of consciousness than ever before. That is true whether or not a person is aware of the shift of consciousness that has taken place within them. There will also be people for whom this information seems brand new. Some of these people will be willing to accept this sacred knowledge as a possibility, but others may think it is too improbable to be true. If you are one of those people, the beings of light are lovingly encouraging you to be patient. This information is not new for you. It is just that you have forgotten. Know that your I Am presence has magnetized these weekly vlogs into your sphere of awareness at this critical time to help you remember, so that you will be both able and willing to fulfill your divine plan. The Company of Heaven is asking each and every one of us to open our heart and mind as we assimilate the information being shared in these weekly vlogs. As we reach ever higher into the realms of illumined truth, we will easily remember who we are and why we are on earth at this time. Then we will see the bigger picture of the divine plan that is unfolding on earth day by day. And finally, everything will begin to make sense. When we fully comprehend the bigger picture, we will no longer feel helpless or hopeless. On the contrary, we will be elated by the opportunity that is being presented to each of us that will allow us to participate in not only transmuting back into light the painful things that are surfacing all over the planet. We will realize that we are instrumental in the process of co-creating the patterns of perfection for the new earth, tangibly in the lives of all humanity. These are the exquisite patterns that reflect divine love, the oneness of all life, eternal peace, and God's infinite abundance. So let's begin. Why does it seem as though things are getting worse on this planet? This phenomenon is happening because there is an unprecedented awakening taking place within the hearts and minds of humanity. People everywhere are beginning to remember that they are here for a reason and that they have an important purpose for being on earth at this time. Some of the people may not remember the specifics of this inner knowing on a conscious level, but that inner prompting is causing them to go within and to seek answers. When a person focuses on the divinity within their heart and asks for guidance and answers, this gives their I Am presence permission to intervene in their life in powerful ways. When that happens, the person begins to intuitively know that by reaching out to God or a higher power, in whatever way resonates in their heart, they will receive the answers they are seeking. We have all heard the statements from on high. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven within, and all else will be revealed to you. These are not just lofty platitudes or religious rhetoric. They are profound truths that apply to each and every one of us, regardless of our beliefs. Every single day, the awakening taking place at this time is inspiring literally billions of people to reach out to God or a higher power in one way or another. These heartfelt pleas ask for divine assistance, and they are made, and the light of God flows through them exponentially. These billions of people on the planet are receiving answers. Humanity's pleas also invoke the light of God into the painful situations and conditions manifesting everywhere. Know that our prayers and invocations are always heard, and they are always answered. As the light of God flows into the person's life who is asking for assistance, their I Am presence receives that light and breathes it through the person's heart into the physical plane. The light then flows into everything that conflicts with that light and pushes it to the surface to be healed and transmuted back into its original perfection. Once that negativity is cleared, then the light of God will fulfill the highest good of whatever the person is requesting. The reason things seem to be getting worse is because the light of God is exponentially increasing on this planet day by day, and it is pushing everything that conflicts with that light to the surface. This is a necessary process so that the awakening humanity can heal and transmute our human miscreations, thus clearing the way for the patterns of perfection that we are all destined to co-create on the new earth. This is the time that was biblically referred to as the time of screaming and the gnashing of teeth. That is because when we look at the outer world, we can easily see the horrific negativity being pushed to the surface to be healed and transmuted back into light, which makes it look like things are getting worse. But what we cannot see is the incredible light of God that is pushing those things to the surface. The important thing for us to know is that this greatly intensified purging would not be occurring at this pace if it were going to cause more harm than good. This accelerated purging is happening because awakening humanity is remembering that we are the ones who have either deliberately or inadvertently miscreated these painful things sometime during our earthly sojourns. And we realize that we are the ones who are responsible for transmuting these gross mutations back into light before we can co-create the lives we have been longing for since our fall into separation and duality eons ago. Through the grace of our I Am presence, we have agreed to experience the intensity of this purging process because we know that the faster the negativity surfaces, the sooner we will be able to transmute it back into light. Then the way will be cleared so that we can co-create the patterns of perfection for the new earth tangibly in our lives. So to begin your healing process this week, please ask your I Am presence to flood your love and your forgiveness into every single thing in your life that is causing pain or suffering of any kind. Then ask your I Am presence and that person, place, condition, or thing to be held in the full embrace of our Father, Mother, God's divine love until it is healed and transmuted into light. Next week, I will share with you information about an incredibly powerful gift of life from our Father, Mother, God that is designed to help humanity transmute the surfacing negativity at a greatly accelerated pace. God bless you, dear one. I wish you a week of divine love, forgiveness, and enlightenment.